This year has really been about building our base, right? I don't think everyone proclaimed that the year was the year of programmatic TV and addressable and that sort of thing. I think everything is still pretty nascent. And there haven't been a ton of dollars flowing from a programmatic perspective, especially to the linear inventory side, right? So there's just not the scale, there's not the technology, but that's what Videa is building. And we've spent a lot of time in 2015 really getting our inventory partners up to speed on how to transact in this new marketplace, and then building the pipes and the infrastructure to really turn on the scale when we're ready.
So you said the word scale, which comes up a lot in this. When you think about the pipes to scale, I mean, what does scale really look like? Does it scale like from an inventory standpoint or a dollar standpoint? I mean, what do you really mean?
Well, and this is exactly what we've been dealing with, right? It's a chicken and egg concept, because if you don't have the inventory scale, you're not going to get the dollars. So that's exactly what we've been working on. And you know, one of the things that we've been hearing from a lot of the agencies and the DSPs that we're kind of working with is scale for them, especially in a local sense, is having coverage within market. It's not one station or one piece of inventory in this DMA that I can buy and having 150 of those one pieces or slivers. You know, it's actually true scale within market. What we're doing that's really different from everyone else is monetizing the full inventory schedule. So we're not a remnant or an RTB play or long tail. It's literally, you know, early news, fringe, prime, I mean, every day part, full monetization schedule. And that's how we really think of scale. The digital models kind of paved the way for what we're doing, but there's a lot of pieces of that from a television perspective people really don't like. So, you know, what we've done is started by taking the best approaches from those models, namely kind of private marketplace, forward reserve, price inventory, and those sorts of things, and are building, because we come from TV, we're owned by Cox and have a long standing history in both the cable and on the broadcast side, right? Building kind of the roadmap for how to transact in the new marketplace. So putting, you know, business guidelines and rules around how we're going to plug into people, how the inventory is going to be sold in a way that doesn't commoditize it, brings the right data, and those sorts of things, which is why our inventory partners trust us with that full schedule as opposed to some others. I would actually say that we do less selling and more educating, right? I view kind of our sales role as educational. It is really important for people because there are so many different ways of transacting and so many different definitions of programmatic and so many companies out there that are doing, you know, different things for different people, that the educational component is the most important by far. And you know, we're doing it by leveraging the institutional knowledge that we bring as an owner and operator of these types of assets. We own the largest national rep firm from a sales perspective in the country, right? And that's a very valuable asset base for us from an educational perspective. So, you know, I think when people hear programmatic and selling, you know, we have all these different assets that we can draw from to help them understand that we do know what we're talking about. And that's kind of, I think that's what's really gained a lot of momentum from us in the marketplace is, you know, people trust us, they understand what we're doing. The solution that we're building is very different from everything else in the marketplace, and they're starting to embrace that.
One last question, a month and a year that you think addressable is no longer something we say, but it's actually something we just do.
You know, and I use addressable and kind of programmatic interchangeably, right? Because addressable isn't necessarily relevant for the local marketplace. Right. But when you look at bringing big data from a targeting perspective to be able to say, you know, I can find my consumer in a linear or local program close to addressable. Not one-to-one, but we're hoping that, you know, we can sort of get there. But, you know, I think the real shift is going to be, I think you're going to start to see a majority of the marketplace really start to embrace it in the middle of kind of 2016. Yeah. And I think you'll really start to see a tidal shift of dollars moving that way, probably early 17 after the political season.